in Africa.
PACIS TV, ta vie renouvelée en Jésus-Christ.
Hello once again and welcome back to PACIS TV. This is the time for the weekly news. I am Benjamin Kwizera and these are the headlines. The President of the Republic of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, arrived in Nairobi to join his fellow leaders at inauguration of Africa Forward Summit. Ministry of Health launched the modernization of RW'IGITANGAZAMAKURU Hospital in order to develop Rwanda's healthcare system. In international news, US President Donald Trump arrived in China to discuss different matters with his Chinese counterpart. Welcome then in the news in the details. President of the Republic of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, arrived in Nairobi, Kenya to join his fellow leaders at inauguration of Africa Forward Summit. More reports.
President Paul Kagame has arrived in Nairobi, Kenya to join fellow African leaders at the inauguration African Forward Summit, a high-level gathering focused on strengthening cooperation between Africa and France in areas such as trade, investment, innovation, and technology. The summit, which opened on Monday, May 11th, is bringing together heads of states, business leaders, and policymakers from across the continent and France. The event, co-hosted by Kenyan President William Ruto and French President Emmanuel Macron under Partnership for Innovation and Growth. Organizers say the summit has attracted more than 4,000 participants, including over 25 African heads of state and government, highlighting growing interest in deep economic and technological collaboration between Africa and France. During the summit, President Kagame is expected to co-chair a roundtable discussion on artificial intelligence and digital technologies. He also addressed a plenary session focused on green industrialization and energy transition, alongside African and French business leaders. Discussions are expected to explore new opportunities for sustainable development and innovation-driven growth across the continent. The summit comes from Rwanda, and France continue to strengthen bilateral cooperation in several sectors. In 2024, the two countries signed a €400 million development partnership agreement running through 2028, with investment targeting healthcare, environment protection, and youth skills development. Rwanda and France also maintain cooperation in aviation and defense, including direct Rwandair flights between Kigali and Paris, as well as military exchange programs between the Rwandan Defense Force and the French Armed Force. The Africa Forward Summit is expected to conclude with the adoption of Nairobi Declaration outlining future priorities and commitment for Africa-France cooperation.
From Nairobi back to Kigali, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, called upon African leaders to take coordinated and practical actions to address problems that Africa is facing. News in detail.
President Paul Kagame officially opened the African CEO Forum held in Kigali, Rwanda. During his address, he urged African leaders to move beyond merely analyzing global crises and instead focus on taking coordinated and practical action. He emphasized that Africa must respond more decisively to the rapidly changing geopolitical and economic environment affecting the continent.
It's a mere-made area which really encapsulates all that we need to say and maybe best on to do a number of things. So I thank you all for being here. Thank you very much. Now, back to the question. There will always be crises. We have had centuries of different things happening. We had slave trade, we had colonial times, then there are wars, then there are pandemics, then there are all kinds of things. They will happen all the time. We just, it's a matter of time, and there are these cycles that, so we are in a different cycle now that is driven geopolitically, and we have to contend with that. But that also for Africa keeps being a reminder of our position. Where do we stand in this global positioning? And we have had many people contribute ideas and very accurately educating us what we need to do and what we need to be thinking about. But we can't stay there. We need to learn from this. We need to shape what we are doing for ourselves, and action should lead us in the right direction.
The Africa CEO Forum, founded by Jeune Afrique Media Group and co-hosted by International Finance Corporation (IFC), continues to serve as a key platform, dialogue and collaboration on Africa's economic transformation.
In Ruhengeri, Ministry of Health launched the modernization of Ruhengeri Hospital in order to develop Rwanda's healthcare service delivery. News in detail. The long-awaited modernization project of Ruhengeri Hospital has reached an important milestone in Rwanda. After several years of anticipation, preparatory works have officially begun to pave the way for construction of a new modern hospital in Musanze district. The Rwandan Ministry of Health announced that several hospital services have already been temporarily relocated to free up space for the future medical complex. The Minister of Health, Dr. Sabin Nsanzimana, visited the site to assess the progress of the preparations and inspect the relocated services. According to health authorities, 12 hospital departments have been transferred over the past 2 weeks to allow the commencement of demolition works and site safety preparations. The future facility is expected to significantly strengthen healthcare capacity in the northern province. The number of hospital beds will increase from 300 up to 550, alongside major expansion of specialized medical services and medical training infrastructure. Ruhengeri Hospital currently plays a strategic role in Rwanda's healthcare system, serving both as a referral hospital and a university teaching hospital for the entire northern region of the country. Located in Musanze district, the hospital serves an estimated population of more than 476,000 residents, as well as neighboring districts including Burera, Gakenke, and Nyabihu. Built in 1939 during the colonial period, the hospital is now nearly 90 years old, making its modernization particularly urgent, according to the government authorities. The Rwandan government considers the project a national priority within its broader strategy to strengthen the country's healthcare infrastructure. However, the construction project is taking place amid concerns over delays affecting several major hospital infrastructure projects in Rwanda. The Office of the Auditor General recently reported significant delays in multiple medical infrastructure projects, including those in Ruhengeri, Kabgayi, and Muhororo. According to financial authorities, these delays could increase construction costs due to rising prices of building materials and slow down improvements in healthcare services delivery. Despite these challenges, health officials have stated that efforts are being made to accelerate the preparatory works so that construction of the new hospital can begin without further delays. The modernization project of Ruhengeri Hospital represents a major investment in the development of Rwanda's healthcare system and in improving access to quality healthcare services in the northern part of the country. The president of Guinea-Conakry arrived to Rwanda to attend the forum that brings together top business executives and leaders from different countries across Africa.
Leaders attending the Africa CEO Forum have started arriving in Rwanda ahead of high-level event. Among the first to arrive were the Prime Minister of the Côte d'Ivoire, Robert Belge Mambe, and the President of Guinea-Conakry, Mamadi Doumbouya. They are in Kigali to participate in the forum, which brings together top businesses, executives, investors, and political leaders from across Africa and around the world. Robert Berg Mambe is among several heads of states and government officials who have confirmed their participation in the Africa CEO Forum, scheduled to make place from May 14th to 15th, 2026 at the Kigali Convention Center. Upon Upon his arrival at Kigali International Airport on the May 12, 2026, he was received by Rwanda's Minister of National Unity and Civic Engagement, Jean Damascene Bizimana. Later the same evening, President Mamadou Doumbouya of Guinea-Conakry also arrived in Kigali. He was welcomed by the Rwandan Minister of Defense, Juvenal Marizamunda, alongside other senior officials, including the Chief of Defense Staff of Rwanda Defense Force, General Mubarak Muganga, and the Inspector General of Police, CG Felix Namuhoranye, and the Mayor of Kigali, Samuel Dusengiyumva. The Africa CEO Forum is a strong rotating event hosted in different African countries. Rwanda is hosting the forum for the third time, having previously hosted in 2019. Again in 2024, the event is organized by Jeune Afrique Media Group, publishers of Jeune Afrique magazine, in partnership with the Swiss-based company Rainbow Unlimited, which specializes in organizing major economic conferences. The forum is an international platform that brings together influential leaders from Africa's private sectors, including top businesses, executives, companies, leaders, and investors. Participation is limited to companies with annual revenue of at least 20 million euros, ensuring a high-level gathering of key economic stakeholders.
In Kabgayi Diocese, during the celebration of Catholic Education Week, students from Catholic schools asked parents to support them in their studies. News in detail. The celebration of Catholic Education Week in the Diocese of Kabgayi took place at Muhanga District Stadium last Saturday, beginning with the Holy Mass led by Bishop Balthazar Ntivuguruzwa, the Bishop of Diocese of Kabgayi. UBUZIMA, a student representative from Ruhango Catholic School Complex, called on parents to support children in their education and studies. Parents must observe children's studies every day, talking to them and teach them values. And they must also work hand in hand with the school administration. Then, when there is some problems, they may solve them. Because when a student receives a good treatment at home, it gets better. At the same event, Kayitare Jacqueline, the mayor of Muhanga District, emphasized the need for parents, teachers, and all stakeholders involved in children's education to work harder in supporting students so that the poor academic performance recorded in the district last year can improve and help students advance in knowledge and skills. Honestly, we were not happy with the results we got last year. Therefore, let's work together to change and improve. The expectations we had last year, we didn't meet. We sat together and discussed about this matter. But we have to remember that these children we are blaming, probably we don't follow them clearly. This message was also reinforced by Balthazar Ntivuguruzwa, the Bishop of the Diocese of Kabgayi, who assured the students that the appeal to parents, teachers, and leaders had been heard, reminding everyone responsible for education and student welfare of their duties.
Bana bacu, ijwi ryanyu twaryumvise.
Our children, we have heard your voice. As parents, your voice reminds us that you have a right to be well treated, well taught, well accompanied in your daily lives.
This
year's Catholic Education Week is held under the theme, Educate Me Well, so that I may grow well and act well. Using this theme, the Bishop of the Diocese of Kabgayi reminded parents, educators, and other institutions that children's upbringing and education must be given proper attention in order to shape capable and responsible citizens for the future. The Catholic Church continues to play a major role in the development of education in the country by shaping young people with knowledge and strong values. News in detail. As Catholic schools from different dioceses across Rwanda continue activities marking the Catholic Education Week in the Diocese of Cyangugu, various events are ongoing. Bishop Dieudonné Rwakabayiza, who is in charge of Catholic education in the diocese, said that this week is important for everyone and emphasized that education is a mission that concerns all people. He encouraged everyone to participate in the activities. First of all, I must say that even though this week based on the Catholic identity, but it benefits everyone. And for those people from different churches,
turabatumira.
Bishop Rwakabayiza added that this week serves as an important opportunity to bring together all stakeholders in education so that they can exchange ideas and learn from one another, since good practices should always be shared. It is a particular opportunity that brings together education stakeholders, specifically Catholic Church, with all partners. On Tuesday, during the opening of International Congress of Catholic Education in Africa and Madagascar taking place at the Archdiocese of Kigali, the Director General of Rwanda Basic Education REB, Dr. Nelson Barushimana, praised the strong partnership between the Catholic Church and the government of Rwanda in promoting quality education. He also stressed that Africa needs competent teachers who are free from corruption. Today, like never before, Africa needs competent, courageous, and engaged teachers. It needs very determined teachers who are also committed, and those who are ready to fight against laziness, corruption, and misconduct problems. The Catholic Education Week, under the theme Educate Me Well so that I may grow well and act well, is a special time dedicated by the Church to highlight its education mission in schools. The national closing ceremony will take place on the 22nd of May 2026 in the Diocese of Cyangugu. At the same time, Kigali is hosting the International Congress on the Catholic Education, aimed at discussing ways Catholic education can further improve the quality of education across Africa. Welcome to our international news. U.S. President Donald Trump held a meeting with the Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping, the president of China. President Trump arrived in China to discuss different matters such as security matters and Iranian war that took place after a couple of months in different areas in the Middle East. President Donald Trump and President Xi Jinping also discussed about economy problems and the increasing of prices of petrol in different areas across the world. This visit to China is targeting to emphasize the relationship between two countries, China and United States of America, and different economic experts suggest that this visit will help the world to demolish and to stop the problems that is taking place across the world. Thank you very much for being with us in PACIS News English. But before we come to an end, let's go back to the headlines. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, arrived in Nairobi to join his fellow leaders at inauguration of Africa Forward Summit. The Ministry of Health launched the modernization of RY'IGITANGAZAMAKURU Hospital in order to develop Rwanda's healthcare system. In international news, United States President Donald Trump held a meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Thank you very much once again for being with us in English News on PACIS TV. And of course, this news is brought to you in partnership with the Credo Hotel, located in Huye District, Southern Province of Rwanda. Thank you very much once again. I wish you a good weekend.
PACIS TV, the #1 Catholic television in Africa.
PACIS TV, ta vie renouvelée en Jésus-Christ.
PACIS TV, the #1 Catholic